great.
Uh,
How's it going, Shop?
not too bad. Oh, I okay. Talk to me about weddings, Gastor. Talk to me about weddings. I don't know what your social situation is right now, but I've been to 3 weddings in like 2.5 months time.
Okay.
What's happening? Now, I know part of this is I know part of this is because some weddings have been postponed for a couple of years,
hmm
and so people are trying to get it done because they've had folks waiting on them for a while. Sure, I get that. But I mean, some of it is just like this is when it's just we fell in love during COVID or whatever. You know what I mean? So like this is when we all I'm saying is um it's been a lot of weddings.
Yeah. I feel with the amount of weddings happening and the
Mhm.
cost of weddings,
Mm.
I'm surprised more people haven't had like group weddings. Like, yo, y'all want to get married together? Like, we go half on a dinner. We could,
Okay.
you know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Like, you
Yeah.
and your home girl, like y'all both fell in love with your peoples,
Right.
and
I
it could be a day for the four of y'all, and you split some of
yeah.
the costs.
Yeah, okay. This is a suggestion that only a groom would make. There is no way. And I've been nowhere near getting married. I
Yeah,
mean, I married my vibrator for God's sake when I turned 30. So it's not like it's super duper sacred to me,
right.
but I'm pretty sure most brides are not going to be into like, yeah, let's just share this date with someone else. Like let's like this is not a double date situation. This ain't going to the movies or going to a concert. This is like a day that is supposed to be all about me. I'm speaking as the bride now. All about me, right? And you can't there's no way anyone's sharing that.
So, see, this is where I disagree. Okay, it's
Uh-huh.
not all about you, and it is a double date. It's a double date with you and your favorite 60 couples. Okay, you're
Oh,
doing
sure.
like
Yeah, people have done that. Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
Like when we have a reception, it's you saying, yo, these are all my favorite peoples. And all of
Mhm.
those people get plus ones. You're already sharing the day, you sharing the dinner. Now I'm with you with the ceremony. Let's do
Mhm.
everyone do your own ceremony, book your own church. The
Oh,
the
so
act
you
itself is yours. But like
uh-huh.
the party event that's like expensive and to me communal and celebration, I want
Mhm.
more people there. So we could like
Okay.
make that like, yo, let's get married at our church and reception at Jones Beach. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We coming a
no, that
thousand deep.
sounds insane. Because you are not because it's not just like I I get if you decide to do one of those group weddings that they where there's like 100 couples on a
Right.
rooftop somewhere, like I get that for the novelty of it. And then
Okay.
have your own personal like reception for people to show up to. I understand getting married at the courthouse and then having your own private reception or whatever. But combining receptions, you're already combining families. So you don't know how that shit's going to go. You don't know how that's going to go. And now you're combining friend groups. You don't know how that shit's going to go. Like I went to a wedding last weekend
Right.
and I it was like here's your table. Uh, all of we were friends of both of them, but mostly the groom.
Okay.
So we were the groom's friends, comedy friends in at this table. And
Yeah.
then there was a person who was like the bride's comedy friend at the table.
Okay.
Vibe couldn't be any more different. Like wildly different.
Okay.
And at one point, she did something kind of out of pocket and loud that would have called a lot of attention to us. And she didn't really have a plan. She was just kind of making a ruckus. And I just looked at her and was like, what are you doing? And I guess she kind of looked at the table and assessed that we would not all be behind her.
Yeah.
And so she ended up settling down. But I
Okay.
mean, they weren't going to do, no one else at the table was going to do anything. They were going to let this ruckus happen and just be like, oh, look at this thing that happened to me. And I was like, no, shut this shit down. So now that is with two people, that's two people, their friend groups colliding. That's
Okay.
before the party started. That was like before they gave us food. You understand? Like it was after drinks, but before the food. Like it was,
I feel like you're selling
yeah.
me on this, Sha.
No, yeah, I just think that I don't I don't think, and I kind of agree that weddings are for the other people,
Yeah.
but I don't think the bride sees it that way. That's been the issue the whole time. The bride is
Right.
going in like, this is about me, and it is about you, but it's also about the people that you've invited in the way that you said. But the bride is still gets to, this is about me, and kind of stops there. And so all the other people are there too, but it's just kind of wild. Now, this wasn't, I mean, it was a perfectly fine wedding. They loved each other, and that was nice to see. In
Okay. They
all
still love each
cases,
other, hopefully,
they
right?
still, yeah, I
Okay.
think as far as I can tell, they seem to still love each other even after getting married.
Good, good.
Uh, and and in the other cases, they all seem to love each other too. Everyone seemed to love each other, but it is not like a big gathering. So if you get like 6 couples who got married elsewhere, but then decide to do a joint reception, now
Yeah.
you've got in multiples of in multiples of like 12 different factions on the dance floor that will never mingle until they get drunk enough, and then there's either a fight or someone's fucking.
Yeah.
And like either way, that's going to be a mess for catering.
I'm
And it's
telling
not, you're just adding more people. That's not going to make it any cheaper. Do you know how much the thing is? You can't say wedding in the planning. When you're planning, if you're trying to keep it on the low, you
yeah.
can't say the word wedding. Once you say the word wedding, right? People go,
Markup,
"Oh,
baby.
that's an extra 500 just for the word."
Straight up.
So you got to either do a surprise wedding for everyone involved. You know what I mean? All the
Okay.
people coming out like they can't know it's a wedding, which could also lead to somebody in flip flops at your wedding, and who
Straight up.
would
I missed a friend's
normally,
wedding over that.
yeah,
He it
like,
was a baby shower, and
mm-hmm,
Gabby's flight got changed. So I was like, all right, I could miss a baby shower to pick up my wife, you
right,
know? So I went to pick up my fam, and then like I see pictures, oh, it was a surprise wedding. I was like, oh, that'd have changed my whole energy. Like I'd have told Gabby, like, yo, like this is an Uber situation now, my
right,
man, But
yeah,
yeah, I hear you on that. Okay.
yeah. So, but I just wonder what goes into uh, planning a wedding. Like, what went into planning, like how wild was it to plan your wedding? Because I'm just looking around and I'm like, okay, so these are their colors, and they opted for this, and this is the food, and I'm not judging, I'm just noticing
Yeah.
like this is a lot from a project manager point of view. This is a lot. The
so
logistics are wild.
so me and Gabby like planned out a wedding that we would have loved.
Mhm.
Like, and we did the budget. It was about like 45 grand. Like it would
Okay.
have been like, this is our dream wedding.
Right.
And I'd saved up, a lot of money. I was single, I was working, I was still living at home. Um, Fun fact, by the way, the biggest expense on my wedding budget was a then slightly well known but not famous John Legend appearance. I was hoping to pay him what I heard at the time was his fee to come do one song. So yeah, I
Wow,
convinced,
so this was a dream wedding.
yeah, like I was like, this is my dream wedding. I love this
Mhm.
dude's music. He had like just put like he had like the mixtapes out, but he still didn't have an album. And I was
Okay,
saying,
so
and I
like that that
Yeah,
that record where it was like him live and a poet on
yeah,
there or some shit. Yeah. Right.
yeah. So I
Okay.
was like, yo, this dude nice. I
Yeah,
think he
yeah.
gonna
You could
blow
get
up.
him. Yeah,
Yeah,
at
I was
that
like, yo,
point, yeah, you could get him.
I
Yeah.
could still get him. I was like, yo, and like I was telling Shorty, I was like, yo, he working with this dude Kanye. I think he gonna blow up, and then we gonna tell people we had this dude at our wedding. And if he
Yeah.
don't blow up, he's still a dope dude at the wedding. Like either way, we
Right.
win. But like,
Right.
I feel like it's worth the investment in our future wedding story. You know, so like, I'm always thinking weird shit. I get it, but like,
Uh-huh.
so we budgeted this out, but like, we ended up, expecting our kid, and we had to make like real decisions, and like, um we talked it over. Like at that point I was like, yo, shorty, I'm still 100% down to do the wedding, like sincerely,
Right.
but like we having a baby right now, and
Uh-huh.
like that's going to change the budget of what you and I make going forward, because we have to account for another person. So
Mhm.
this is what I'm putting the ball in your court. I literally said, whatever you want, I promise you, I will not be mad. But
Mhm.
I have exactly enough money for a down payment or this
Mhm.
wedding. You could pick. I'm cool with either or.
Mhm.
We will have a crazy dope wedding, live in an apartment, completely fine. It'll be an apartment that like dad hooks us up with. Or
Mhm.
we can have a city hall wedding, but we have enough money to go house shopping.
Mhm.
And she thought it over, but she's like, yeah, real talk, like I wouldn't mind having the wedding, but yeah, we gotta get a house.
Right.
So we like got the paperwork, and we went to city hall with her youngest brother,
Mhm.
and our total wedding was $65 straight up.
Did you what
To the
about a party
50 bucks for the
afterwards?
wedding. The party
Uh-huh.
afterward was $15. It was me, her, and my brother-in-law Carlos. We went to the cart, and we got hot dogs and Snapples, you know,
Okay, that don't count. I mean,
and we
wasn't
did it
there
live.
a gathering of family members afterwards at someone's
N-
house?
No, straight up. We just told people we was married. We unofficially got that energy like a month, like a little bit before that, but not because, but nobody knew like that we were getting married. We got that kind of because of the baby shower. Like a lot of people in
Okay.
November like knew we was having a kid, so like that kind of served a lot of the energy we wanted for that. So, and that was part of why it felt easier, I think, to make
Okay.
that call.
Because
But
you
yeah,
still had something celebratory.
yeah, we had like a big moment, and it was fun. But admittedly, that was the baby shower. It wasn't a
Mhm.
wedding thing. But yeah, nah, we paid $50 for the license, $5 for everybody to get a hot dog Snapple combo.
Mhm.
And I spent $100 on the two wedding bands.
Okay.
So
All right.
165 total.
Okay. So,
That was
and
my
this
whole
was,
wedding.
in Brooklyn
Yeah,
at
we
the
went to the city hall in Brooklyn.
Uh-huh.
And the hot dog stand was the one in front of City Hall.
Okay.
So it was like the
I've been to a city hall wedding in Brooklyn, and I I served as the witness. They
Mhm.
they
That
asked
was
at
my
the moment, they were
brother-in-law.
like, "Hey, can you be the witness?" And I'm like, I guess. I'm
Hell
wearing
yeah.
Spanx, so sure."
There was there's a Asian couple that was in front of me in line, and they were like fully like weddinged out. Like you could tell
Right.
they were going to the actual ceremony after. So they're both in line with like their whole like the whole wedding crew, the groomsmen, the bridesmaids, all
Right.
of them. And like they were like having a vibe, but they also weren't speaking English. So like I couldn't understand everything. But
Mhm.
I'm in love too. I'm with Gabby. We having a great time. I see them in love. They having a good time. And they had their photographer. So like as a joke, I like leaned into one picture, and then like I like gave a point to the groom, and he fucked with me. So like I'm in like half of their pictures, because like by the end of it, yo, they was like, yo, this dude's cool. So I'm in all these pictures. I don't know what the fuck they saying. They don't know what I'm saying. We just happy that we having a good day, and we got the same wedding anniversary. So there's some Asian couple out there. If the word gets out to them, I don't know how, because I don't know how they would hear this podcast. But
You never know.
you never know. Straight up, we got the same wedding anniversary.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I'm in a ton of they like city hall pictures.
Oh my god, that's
Straight
so
up.
Gastor.
Hell yeah. It was a great
Like
day.
that's so Raven, but that's so Gastor.
That shit was fire. I had a
Oh my,
great day that day. That shit was awesome.
that's very funny.
I
That's
enjoyed that.
wild.
Like weddings to me bring me like so much joy in general. Like I enjoy them. I like the energy of them. I like seeing people in love. Um I at the city hall, when I was saying the vows with Gabby, like I felt the judge's energy change while going through the process with us.
Uh-huh.
Cause like, she probably does like, I don't need like 100 of those shits every day,
Yeah, they
you
really do
know?
just crank them out.
Yo, it's a machine, yo. She just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's not like she's not doing it like angry, but she ain't like
No, but she's
putting
just like,
nothing
"Well, do
into it.
you? What about you? You got stuff? There's the
Yeah.
rings. See y'all later.
Cool.
Next."
Who's the
Yeah,
guy? Yeah, yeah. Like
it's
it's
a
that kind of
government.
vibe.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a government office. So yeah.
So she's just knocking them out. But like I felt like, she saw us and like saw the energy I was putting into it. And I felt her like shift from like, oh, I gotta sell this shit because they in it, like I, I just saw her put like a little more sauce like around the I do's because she saw like, oh, he really mean this shit, you know?
Oh wow.
So straight up, like I was hyped that day and like, yeah, like we vibed. I signed all the shit. I high fived the judge. It was dope.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
cool.
you were doing a lot.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that whole thing. But like, yeah, like weddings in general give me hype. I love seeing people in love. Admittedly, uh, yeah, there's been a lot of them lately. Um,
Right. Yeah.
I hear you. I think that when you have like a real like traumatic experience, it leads to people to question that stuff. I will
Uh-huh.
say though, it's been both ways. I think there's been a record amount of divorces.
Oh
People's
yeah,
like,
no,
yo,
for sure. I just don't
yeah,
get invited to those parties.
yo,
Nobody wants an I told you so at your divorce party. So I get it. But
yo,
yeah, yeah, I think it's also for me, I think it's a lot of these people are the age where yeah, they're like, "Yeah, let's go ahead and do this." Not like in a, "Oh, finally." Not like Martin proposing to Gina. "Are you happy now?" Not like that. But I mean like um early to mid 30s.
okay,
There are like different uh, when you are and I don't know, you may not have come across this, but as what is looking like a perpetually single person, what is turning out to be a forever single,
okay,
um you notice different like groupings of like different times that you'll suddenly have to go to a lot of weddings. So there's right out of high school,
yep,
depending on, what the mindset is of your friend group or, whatever. You may have, and also where you grew up, you may end up like right out of high school just having to go to a whole bunch of
hmm,
weddings, like at 19 and 20. Um, I think I think that only happened with one person from high school for me. It was like maybe 4 or 5 years out. I think it was 5 years out because she invited me and I was just like, I
okay,
mean, I'll go, but I didn't know we were close enough for me to come to your wedding. And also, should you be getting married? I mean, it's only been 5 years since high school. Like, what? But that is a time that people get married, absolutely, early 20s. So there's
yeah,
that, right? And then those of us who didn't, we riding it on out. And then you hit like um early 30s, early to mid 30s. And
yeah,
then that's when people are like, yeah, I think this is what I want to do with this person. So you have a bunch of them at that time. And then if you just continue to live and depending on your friend group again, you may hit like 40s and then it's like either a lot of second weddings
right,
or people who just finally found someone, right? Like, and so I'm I'm hitting those I've hit those particular time frames, but because I know so many people younger than me due to comedy, I am now in a time frame of early 30s, early to mid 30s all over again because I
Ah,
met a whole bunch of people when they were in their 20s and now they're finding their people and they're getting married. So I'm like, this feels like I should right now be going to second or third weddings. If people in my friend group, either they decided to be common law or they're like, fuck it, I'll go ahead and do this. I found this person.
right.
And so that's where I should be going, where the bride is wearing light gray or or cream, not white,
Nah.
and it's a pantsuit. Like it's like those are the kinds of weddings I should be going to, but I keep going to the ones of the comedy people that I know who are getting married. And because it's comedy, it's usually dudes. So
Okay.
I'm usually there on the groom side. And then people are like, why are there just a bunch of guys and one lone woman sitting on the side of the groom? I was like, comedy. Comedy.
Oh man. Shots there chaperoning these dudes, making sure they
Yeah, that's
behave.
ultimately what is happening. So,
Just telling a
you
bunch of
know,
people at the table, don't do that. No,
yeah,
that's not how you do
exactly. That's
it.
exactly what happened at that wedding. I was just like, no, don't, what are you doing?
Nah,
Don't do that.
this ain't the place for that.
Yeah. And people are standing down. They're like, well, she said it's not the place for it. I guess I won't. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's right. I'm the grand dame of this wedding sitting in the corner.
Yeah, that should have a title. Real talk. You know what I mean? You got a best man. You know, you got a maid of honor. I like that. The grand dame. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. You
Which
need
and
a
it's not
grand dame.
anyone's mother.
No,
It's
no.
basically just the oldest woman who's not related to either of the people getting married. There's
Yo, that's
no
kind of
relation
fire.
in any way. She's just the old woman that knows them somehow and is just sitting in the corner waiting for the DJ to play her song.
Yo, I'm
Which
kind of
is
hyped about this, Shy.
Yeah, are you great?
Real
Because
talk.
I'm making I don't know. I don't think I should make t-shirts. We're not going to be wearing t-shirts. I guess like I don't know, a fancy hat or maybe a shawl. I guess I'll get a shawl with Grand Dame like so
Yo,
like etched into it. I don't know. Is that how you do it? Is that what you do when you with a needle and thread you etch a
I,
word into a shawl?
I'm in love with this idea so much. Like
Oh
this
boy.
couple's fighting, like, yo, I told her she's gonna be the grand dame. Okay.
Yeah. That's true. There might be a few Grand Dames.
Straight up, yo.
There might be a
Yo, that's
few of us
fire.
there.
She was my babysitter, okay?
Yes.
She's known me.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
I proposed to her when I was 8. Okay. I told her she would be at my wedding. Okay.
Yep. And here she is.
Here she is. Okay. Yo, this is dope. I love this idea. Grind down. There's responsibilities. It's an official role. I'm mad
Yeah.
at I really think
Perhaps
you
it
like
is.
titled something that like is a vital role to the wedding that I don't think people realize. You
Yeah.
know? Hell yeah. You
Well,
might
we're
get
out
invited
here.
to more like bachelorette parties now. You
No,
know?
perhaps. I mean, I'm still going to sit in the corner and wait for him to play my song. It'll just be at the strip club or something.
As a grind dom should. Okay.
Yeah, as I'm waiting for the strippers to dance to the electric slide or so. I don't know what is my song. What am I waiting for them to dance to? Luther Vandross is here and now. Like, what am I waiting on?
Oh man. I love all this. I'm so hyped about this. Oh yeah. I know you came in complaining about too many weddings. I want more weddings now. Okay.
Oh, great!
Oh yeah.
Now that we've figured out my role.
Yo, you got a title now? Yo, hit up Shy for all your grand dame needs. Okay. She'll send you rates. If you don't have a grand dame in your life, she's available. She's great
Yeah,
at it. She has
I'm here.
references. Let's get into the news. That's right. Mark Zuckerberg has lost $70 billion in his net worth. Meta CEO has plummeted to the 20th richest person in the world. Poor Mark.
Oh, 20. You hate to see it.
Zuckerberg started the year with $125 billion as a fortune, according to a Bloomberg Billionaires Index. But since then, It's tanked down to 55.3, a fall of just over 55%. Forbes put its current net worth at 53.4, since it's mostly tied to Meta stock. Meta, which owns Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Oculus. Yo, shout outs to Oculus for trying to get included in that. That's what it is.
Me too. He owns me too. Don't forget me, your old friend Oculus.
Yo, what a reach. You got no business in that Oculus.
Oculus is in the house. Well, get it out. I didn't order him. Get him out of the house.
Yo, real talk. I swear this article came out and Mark was like, nah. You got to put Oculus. I heard mad.
Yeah. Don't forget Oculus.
Oh, Oculus talked my ear off when I came back from the last article. Make sure. Meta has had a tumultuous past 12 months since Zuckerberg said it would become a metaverse company and then unveiled the massive rebrand in October. Facebook went on to report its first ever decline in user numbers, losing roughly 1 million daily active users since the last quarter of 2021. The brand was also steeped in controversy last fall when whistleblower Frances Haugen leaked information from internal company documents, including claiming that she'd seen internal research which found Instagram contributed to eating disorders and suicidal thoughts in teenage girls.
Yikes.
Meta's net income fell 36% or more than $3 billion in the second quarter. Bang, bang.
I mean, he came up with Facebook as like an Ivy League hot or not.
Yeah.
Like, and it grew to this. So if that's where he is mentally, of course his next idea is like, what if we made it like you're in the world, but you're not, right? Like, who's doing virtual? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, no one's gonna do that. Do you understand that what you initially created is now the phone system for old people? That's how old people contact each other, is through that. You think you're gonna get them to put on Oculus and fucking go into another world? Bruh.
Yo, man, they ain't all hits, B. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they can't all be winners.
They can't all be winners, B. Jay-Z had sneakers with Reebok, my G. All right? Nobody cares. You know what I mean? It happens, man. Yo, you allowed to slip a little, my G. It's cool.
Boy.
Chalk this L up. Keep it moving. You still got 55 bills.
Yeah, number 20 isn't bad.
Ain't bad, homie. You know, you still out there.
You know, considering that you did all that while wearing a gray hoodie for most of it, that's really impressive.
Straight up. I'm applauding you, you know?
Yeah. Good for you, buddy.
Have you seen, too, like, he's out here, like, taking, like, MMA classes?
Of course he is.
Yeah, yo, people's like...
Yeah, he's just a little pipsqueak. He's a little pipsqueak. And what do you do if you're a pipsqueak with money? You try to bulk up at some point.
Hell yeah, my man out there training.
Yeah. I mean, who are you going to fight? Who are you going to fight, Mark Zuckerberg?
Oh, he got coders out there ready to snap at any moment.
Yeah, who's rolling up on you?
When are you ever in a place where anyone can roll up on you?
Where anyone can roll up on you, buddy. Like, cut. It's just gonna be him and a bunch of other weirdly shaped, like, billionaires just in a room staring at each other, waiting for someone to throw a nunchuck or you know what I mean? Like, it's just all of them waiting for an anime fight scene that's not going to happen.
Yo, like, Mark Zuckerberg is like the reason I think that movies based in New York show like abandoned alleys still. Like, they think that's a thing. Like, if you've been to New York, we don't got real estate space like that no more. Okay?
Yeah, we don't really have alleys here
at all. There's no alleys.
There are like 3 alleys.
The whole island.
I think there are like 3 alleys, and they're all in the Lower East Side. And if you roll by any of them, you will see a camera crew there, always
Straight
filming. Always.
It's like reserve, B. You got to put in for a slot. You know, me and Shot shooting a scene there in 2032.
I
You know what I
work
mean?
around the corner from an alley, and I mean, I could take you to the one,
Yo,
and
it's
then there are two more somewhere, but
they
yeah,
destinations, yo.
there are no alleys.
We don't
Hey,
have it.
maybe you should get into alleys, Mark.
Yo, there you go.
Let's
Easy to
create some
build.
alleys. Yeah,
Real easy to build alleys. You knock something
let's
down
get
and leave
out
it
of the
alone.
let's be in the real world. Let's get out of the virtual world. Let's be in the real world.
The alley business is picking up steam.
That,
Okay.
yeah. Oh wow! But that's more than half his money. If someone took half of my money, what am I going to do with that $200?
Yeah,
What
real
am I?
talk, B. I looked at it. I was like, yo, I'm laughing, but like, yeah, I know that hurts.
Yeah,
Straight up. Straight
yeah,
up.
that has to hurt.
I know it's 55 billion is a lot to like cushion your fall, but man, losing $75 billion is crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's. Oof.
That is that what the Bezos' wife got in the divorce?
Oh, is it? I can't even.
That's like in that ballpark, yo.
Did she's the one that got? Is that the divorcee who got like the most money anyone's ever gotten in a divorce? Was it Jeff
Yeah.
Bezos's? Okay.
Like they got divorced and she's like top like 20 richest people.
It's perfect. Yeah,
Off of
right.
that.
She might be higher than.
Yo, word, yo. That's
She
probably
might be
what hurts, yo.
higher. Oh, yo.
Yo,
She didn't
imagine
even.
Jeff texts him like, yo, my ex is richer than you now, my G.
Ooh, they are talking cash shit in the group text right now. Bruh.
Yo, I heard you can only buy 50 Jay-Z's right now. You okay? You doing good?
Man. All that's coming up is Mark's notifications have been silenced. Mark's notifications have been silenced. He ain't answering nobody.
He started opening up small businesses. Yo, I heard you teaming up with Revolt or something, man. Everything good? You're doing 1 billionaire actions, you know?
Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. Yo.
I'm rooting for you, Mark. Make a comeback, man. All right, start a GoFundMe. I'll put in some bread for you, my G. You don't deserve this.
Oh boy,
Okay?
you got a Gastor. I'm rooting for you, man. That's not good.
The sign of true failure. Okay, you were suffering if I'm rooting for you. Okay, constantly cheering for underdogs. The poor
man.
Mark Zuckerberg. In other news, Wegmans ends the self-checkout app after too much shoplifting. That's right. In 2019, Wegmans, the cult favorite. I might have said Wegmans, I think, initially, but I think it's Wegmans.
Wegmans, yeah.
Wegmans, right? Yeah. The cult favorite Northeastern grocery chain rolled out a new mobile app that allowed customers to scan, bag, and pay for groceries while they shopped, and then skip the checkout line altogether. The app, Wegmans Scans, promised customers a quicker checkout and also let them see a running total of their purchases as they shop. This week, the grocer announced that it's ending the app because of rampant shoplifting. Duh.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, the losses we are experiencing prevent us from continuing to make it available in its current state. No shit. We've made the decision to turn off the app until we can make improvements that will meet the needs of our customers, business, and business. Y'all some dumb. Yo, come on, Wegman.
I know. Do you do any research?
Have
and
you
not
met
even
people?
like, yeah, that like not even like reports or surveys. Do you go to stores? Have you met anyone? Do you know a child? Do you know a teenager? Do you know a woman in trouble? Do you know anyone?
Nah, scan that. I'm good. Oh, okay.
Well, like, I can't even, because, all right, I want to, okay, I'm going to read this part. The chain debuted its Scan and Go app as Amazon was beginning to ramp up its cashier-less Amazon Go stores. Many other traditional retailers also rushed to keep pace with Amazon and introduce their own Scan and Go style apps. Wegmans called it the right technology at the right time.
Got him.
Yeah, I know. I don't think it was. But Scan and Go has come with unintended consequences for stores, higher level of shoplifting, fraud, and other losses that would normally occur at traditional checkout lanes staffed by cashiers. Like, what do you think?
I
There are
just,
many types of scan and go thefts, including customers who intentionally do not scan items or scan cheaper items than what they put in their carts.
oh,
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
unintended, ja. They
Mm,
surprised, yo. Yo,
I
real
can't.
talk though. Power move by Amazon to make one store like this
Have
in
you
all the US. It's fire. The store's incredible. But
you've been in it? You've been
yeah,
in the one in like Soho? I think there's one in Soho. They have them a few places.
I think they exist only to trick businesses like Wegman to do the wrong thing.
I mean, that's a long con.
Straight up. Amazon's like,
I
yo, put
think
up like 3 of these bitches. Let's see if Wegmans will start theirs. And they'll get robbed so blindly it'll pay off having these 3 stores open, losing us money.
I mean, I've been in one of those Amazon stores and I went with a friend who was returning something
Yeah.
and he like did the return stuff on his laptop at home. So then he just kind of came in and handed it to someone and they were like, "Okay." And I was like, "I don't trust any of this." I didn't walk through the store at all. I just stood at the front door. I was like, "I'll be right here waiting on you." I'm not y'all ain't okie dokie and me. Get the fuck out of here. And so I was just like, I don't trust any of this. This is all ops. This is nothing but ops. I'm like, no, not at all. And I can't imagine what that would be like at a grocery store because I love grocery stores and I will walk up and down every aisle of a grocery store. It's very soothing to me. I like
Okay.
food. But I can't say that I have not
Sha.
paid for used the code of tomatoes on the vine for something that was a little bit more than tomatoes on the vine.
Sha.
I mean, I paid. What am I going to do? They can't get that merchandise back. I'm in a completely different city.
Come find me, okay? I'm out here.
Yeah. What
I
you
ain't
gonna do?
scared.
Yeah.
I, the,
So,
the thing is, like, maybe I'm wrong, okay?
mm,
I might be saying too much about myself and my inner thoughts.
okay.
But is it just me or is it something about being in a supermarket that makes me want to try to steal?
Okay. I don't know.
Like, yo, because like, follow me on this. Like, I feel
Okay.
like I see so many people like try to do like weird hustles and
Mm-hmm.
tricks like that I know they could pay for,
Mm-hmm.
and I know they would pay for in any other setting. But in a supermarket, at a BJ's, at a Costco, I see people like, yo, why you trying to steal that water? It's like, it's $3 for 48 pack, B. Like, you already stealing, my G. They're
Right.
not
It's
making,
already a steal.
yeah,
Yes.
but like, I'll see them like, nah, I hit it under, and like, I'm not gonna say nothing, but if they bring it up, I'll pay for it. You know, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
That's a big one.
I'm
That's a big
telling
one.
you, and like, I see so many people that I know in every other walk of life, I feel would not attempt to steal. But something about the like LED lights or something, I don't know what it is, but something about that environment, it just brings the inner criminal out of everybody.
You know what? It doesn't at a grocery store, but it would at like say a Kmart for
Yeah,
me.
it's got to
For
be
a
a certain
Kmart,
size.
yeah, it's got to be a certain kind of store. I could see where you would just be like, I mean, no one's going to miss this, right? I see where your brain goes there. And even with me putting in the code for tomatoes on the vine, it is I'm just like, I don't know, these potatoes, they're probably roughly the same. And then I just put in, I'm not going to look up the code. I'm not going to ask for help. Y'all already making me ring up my own shit. Guess what? Tomatoes on the vine for all of this. $1.99 a pound, no matter what I'm getting. So that's out of frustration and just like, whatever, man. Y'all know what you're doing. But I don't know. Maybe it's like an innate, just kind of like, I can't believe I got to pay for this.
Yeah,
I feel like at the grocery store is where people really start to learn or notice price discrepancies.
okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because you're in either you're in your favorite grocery store all the time and then you go to one that's not your favorite one and you're like, "What? That's how much they want for it. Like it's easy because you memorize these prices because you get basically the same items all the time. So I feel like a little bit more intimate with the items and the pricing. So when
Right.
shit changes, that shit hurts. Like
Yeah.
you feel it. In the same way that when something is on sale, you load up on it, even though you don't need it's perishable. You
Mm.
don't need all of that, but you're just like, yeah. So it feels a little bit more intimate than if you're just like at a department store.
Right.
So it feels like when a change happens at your grocery store and you're like, yo, this used to be a pack of 10 cookies. Now it's a pack of 8 cookies and it went up $1.50.
Mm-hmm.
They tripping. I'm just gonna put this at the bottom of my cart and see if they notice. How
Mm-hmm.
dare they? How
Hell yeah.
dare they? And
Hell
that,
yeah.
I think it's the grocery stores where you start to feel where you really feel it because you're much more in tune with the pricing on stuff that you get all the time.
Yeah. I'm telling you,
Because that's yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. Because my dad would give me an update every week on when he went to the grocery store and how much things were and how much they are now and how many ounces they took away from it. And I'm just like, are you keep writing this down in a notebook? How do you know this? But
he taking names and shit.
yeah, but you notice that as you go over and over.
I told you when me and Gabby first got married, the first like year and a half or so, like the first year she did most of the shopping, she was a stay-at-home wife
Mhm.
with my kid. And I went shopping for the first time with her like on a vacation. Like it landed to like a week off. It was shopping time.
Mhm.
And I was like, you know what, stay home. I'll go do this. And when I saw for the first time in my life the price difference between steak and chicken,
Right.
yo, I was so heated, shot. Like you just been giving me steak frivolously just because I've been asking. You haven't been explaining to me that it's like 4 times the cost. I'm the same full. The same full. My stomach ain't fuller because of steak at all. You know? If anything, it's less full because when you give me steak, I'm like, nah, I don't even want sides. I just want more steak. Like this, I'm throwing the whole budget off with this shit. I was so mad when
Right.
I got home. And like, yeah, I think something about being in supermarkets, like, I think I really agree with you that there's a difference between them and like a clothing store because
Mhm.
it's something you need,
Right.
So like you
Yeah.
see this thing that like clearly there's enough of it. Like, and the grand scheme of things, like subconsciously is hitting you that like, yo, I need this. There's plenty of this shit. And I
Right.
gotta pay for it because I need it to live, even though realistically we should just be giving this out. You know,
Mhm.
it shouldn't be a thing where I got to pay for. And like, if I lose my job, I can't afford this thing that I need that like there's thousands of, you know what I mean? They're
Right.
everywhere. So I think
Mhm.
something about that, like this inspires like middle American, like suburban housewives to be like, oh, I'm stealing this 6 pack of Yoo-hoo, you know?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
deserve that shit, the nerve of
Yes,
you.
I have watched enough HBO shows about desolate stay-at-home moms
Yo,
to know that something clicks in their brain and suddenly they want to steal groceries or they want to steal makeup. Or actually, I've just known enough white girls to know that they just want to steal makeup. Like that's just a given. Oh
yo,
my
I
goodness.
feel y'all, ladies. Okay, all right, do what
Mhm.
y'all got to do. All right, take all them cookies. Uh,
But also companies meet people meet people who might be your customers. Really get to know a person and see how we are all evil. We're all evil. Yes, we'll steal if you give us a chance. What do you I can't believe Wegmans. I can't believe. Get
oh
out of
man,
here.
I
So
appreciate that
either
they
yeah.
believed in us.
Yeah, that's really sweet of you, but I now recommend with this time away from this app that you go out and meet people and see how we really move because it's not pretty.
At all, at all.
Mm-mm, no.
The FTC sends a warning to Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash, and other gig working companies. The federal regulators are adopting policies to seek to protect gig workers from a power imbalance that leaves workers more exposed to harm from unfair and deceptive and anti-competitive practices, as and is likely to amplify such harms when they occur. The Federal Trade Commission announced on Thursday that it plans to crack down on the exploitation of gig workers, whom the agency said are entitled to protection regardless of their worker classification. The commission adopted a policy statement that details issues gig workers face, including deceptive claims about their wages and hours, unfair contract terms, and more, and what the FTC plans to do about it. My favorite part about this article is that Uber
Mhm.
shares declined in the late afternoon trading following the FTC announcement.
Okay, so let me make sure I got this right.
Yeah.
This announcement came out saying, "Hey, y'all been bullshitting
Hmm.
with the classification of workers and what you're doing to them, and we're gonna change something about that. Like y'all need to stop." And so then people were like, "Well, I'm not gonna get into this," and they sold off shares. Is that what happened,
Yeah.
basically?
Uh-huh. They're like, oh, well, like ripping off the working class of this country is kind of like integral to our business model. So
Right? It's kinda how I make my scratch. So I'm gonna
yeah.
oopsie, but
Also, FTC noted that gig workers are disproportionately people of color. So this is a big issue in a lot of our communities. Latino, Black, and Asian identifying adults comprise 69% of gig workers currently.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
Have you done gig work?
look, no. Mm-mm.
I did
No,
the
outside of well, you know what? I'll tell you what I did do years ago was I cleaned houses,
okay.
right? I worked for a dude who had his own little small house cleaning business, which if you live in suburbia, if you live in a fairly large city with little suburban areas
Right.
and you've got the means, you got the car, you can get to a Costco and buy the supplies, blah blah blah. You can throw up your own little house cleaning business pretty easily and you know, get shit done. Like
Right.
it's like a fail. I don't know why it feels tougher in New York to do that. Gig work in general feels some of it feels just tougher in New York to do because it seems like there are more hurdles than need be. But
Yeah.
I mean, I was cleaning people's houses because I cleaned one woman's house and she's like, yeah, she did a pretty good job. Like it literally is just like, I'm like, y'all just you just leave me a key and shit, like it's wild. And I would go in and clean and then leave. And I knew people who were going in and just smoking out and chilling and then cleaning up after themselves, like crews of three of people. And I'm just like, wow, no,
You're
you
making this
know,
too hard, my G.
yeah, just clean and leave and get to another spot. So that's the closest to gig work. And even then I started like a company, like I had a name and an LLC and I made no money and all of that. But
That's
but
fire though. You out here, Sha.
that's the closest to gig work I had because it was really just like me. I had a few condos, I had a few houses, I had a dance studio. I had like a apartment, couple of apartment buildings where I cleaned their lobbies and their walkways and shit. Like it was so random, and was still working full time at a bookstore. So that's
I'm a CEO, but also,
but also
put that
let
on the
me
third
special
shelf.
order that book for you. Yeah.
That's so New York, Sha. Rock on.
Is it? Yeah. It feels distinctly Atlantan though. It does.
I love that. I so curious now. When you said you don't, obviously you don't do it anymore. When you stopped that, did you sell it? Did you close it? Did you like it
Yeah,
just
I just stopped it because it was just me. It was just me and occasionally my dad
okay?
would help me. So underneath me, he would somehow they got me something to a cleaning job out where my parents lived, which was like 20 miles from where I lived.
Yeah.
And so in order to keep that up, my dad was like, well, I'll just do that
Okay.
and we'll put it all under the whatever. So, you know what I mean? It was just like weird things like that. But yeah, when I was done, I I think it was, I just kind of closed out with people. I was just like, hey, I'm not going to be doing this anymore. I'll do it for the next like 3 months and then I'm done. Or someone moved, or it was very easy to just kind of be like, meh, and here's a name of some people that you might want to call.
Yeah, that's how I was wondering. I'm like, how does that like shut down? Do you be like, yeah, now we done, and like just not return calls? Do you
Yeah,
send out an
no,
email?
I wasn't that evil, although I could be. I wasn't. People always just disappear. I mean, ultimately, I bet that's how I got some jobs. Was just like my cleaner just didn't answer any more phone calls, so I asked someone and they said you were all right, so come on in and I'll see what you do. That's yeah. But I did like shut it down because I was like, all right, I now am transitioning into this other job, and so I don't have to do this part. I don't really have the time to do this part anymore.
Yeah,
And so, yeah.
I drove for Uber for about maybe a year off and on. It
Okay.
was it was during the first year that I quit my job. So that I could
Mm,
do stand up. I figured any week that like I have like, less than enough, gigs to pay, I could do that during my free time to pay. Um I fun fact, I the day I recorded my album,
mhm.
the person doing tech, like the lighting guy or whatever, he hits me up and he's like, yo, the company that I work for, they like were sold and their policies changed, so I need payment prior to doing service. Um,
Okay.
and I was like, yo, like we agreed I was gonna pay you in 2 weeks after the Eventbrite money came in. And he said, yeah, I can't do that. I'm like, yeah, I don't have cash. Like I've called in every favor in the world
Mhm.
to do this. And like literally I had uh $30 in cash at the moment. And like the fee was like a buck 80.
Mm.
So on the day of my album recording, up until like half hour before, I was in like White Plains, New York, Ubering
Oh, wow.
to make the money to pay that guy. And like I had an Uber to like I made like 160 because like I had to make enough money to pay him, and
Mhm.
because it was like an instant transfer, I was gonna like lose a portion of the money
Yeah, so you gotta cover the fee
to
that they
cover that
will.
fee. So like
Yeah.
the same day, like I literally just show up to record. So that's why I'm pretty sure I hold the distinction of being the only black comedian to shoot a special without a shape up because I missed my hair appointment that day uh to Uber this money. So yeah, if y'all see
Right.
me, I'll yeah, no, I came out humble, okay? All right, you know. But it got done, baby.
Oh
Also
my
fun fact
gosh.
though, on my Uber driving profile, there is an
Mhm.
album review of me, like because I told somebody I was driving, hey, my album came out like a month ago, and they like went home, saw it after I dropped them off, and they're like, yo, our Uber driver's funny as shit. No, but like professionally. But yeah, I was
Wow.
out there, yo. It was cool. I
Oh my
enjoyed it. It was
gosh.
cool
You
times.
did?
Ubering was it gave me a new respect for how terrible Uber drivers can be. Like the good ones
Mm.
are incredible, sincerely, but
Mhm.
like the worst, I got like my rating was pretty good. I forget what it was at. It was like 4.7, 4.8, something like that.
Mhm.
I got a 5 most of the times. I got some 4s, and the only time I got below a 4 was once.
Mhm.
I made a left turn onto a what I now know is an 8-lane street, 4 lanes going one way, 4 lanes going the other way. I thought it
Sure.
was 4 lanes total. So
Mhm.
I turned into what I thought was the lane going in one direction. Instead,
Uh-huh.
I was in the
It was
last lane incoming,
right.
and there was a big divider that
Right.
I couldn't like, oh, let me fix this. So I had to drive
Mhm.
like 3 blocks,
On
fucking
the
up
wrong side of the
traffic on
road?
the wrong side of the road. So like I'm like half a block into it, and the dude's like, "Hey, I think you're in the wrong side." I was like, "Yeah, nah, I know." Um, I'm gonna fix that for you in a second. Don't worry about it. My
I'm
bad.
gonna fix that. Hold on.
No.
Give me just a sec. Give me just a second.
You know, so like I was casual to shit about it because like I had nowhere else to go. I was like, yeah, my bad. I messed up. And I was like, but I put the blinkers on, I put the has, and I switched
Right.
over. And like then like two other things went like a little wrong. And like,
Sure.
you know, just because that's how it is. Like I feel like I'm a pretty
Yeah.
safe driver, but everything went wrong during that drive. I drop
Mm-hmm.
him off and I'm like, yo, my bad, man, but have a good night. He's like, yeah, no worries, it happens. And he goes in. That dude gave me a 3.
Oh, okay.
Like I put that dude's life in danger
Mm-hmm.
for 3 blocks driving at like 1 a.m. into incoming traffic.
Right.
I like missed a stop sign elsewhere. Like I did shit wrong. And he
Right.
still was like, yeah, this is about average. You know, like he gave me a
Well,
3.
that's good. I think he probably knew that how important those stars are.
Yeah, fair.
Because I have absolutely I just stopped doing stars actually right now is what I'm doing. But I have been in cars where I'm like, "Oh, are you trying to kidnap me? What are you doing?" And I would write just a long thing of just like, "Yo, this dude's trying to he took me literally around the world. He did not think I would notice, but I noticed very early on into the ride. And so now I'm berating him and for the whole ride because he thought I'd be asleep or some shit. And he doesn't know. All he sees is my head's down. He thinks I'm asleep, but I'm following along on the map. And I
Hell
don't know where
yeah.
I'm going, but I know that ain't where I'm supposed to be. So that's happened to me a couple of times. And I still am like, man, if I give this dude a 2 or something, he might just drive off the fucking bridge because that's going to lower it so much that he won't get any pickups.
Yeah.
Like the star system is so I'm like, he still got me here alive. Yeah, he tried to kidnap me, but I'm still home alive. Yes, I'm underneath my bed under a weighted blanket and I may never go out again. But I mean, I got home alive.
That is the goal.
I'll give him a 3. I'll give him a 3. You
Straight
know?
up. But that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
not
Like, there's people that do so bad that even like people like you are like, nah, B, I can't do it. I gotta give you a 1.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like that's how wild that bar is.
If I am paying for it from a hospital bed or from the back of an ambulance, you're probably going to get a 2.
Yeah.
You're probably going to get a 2.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
If I am dead, I will have my next of kin rate you a 1.
Yeah, that's in the will right there. I like that.
Yeah, that's absolutely putting it in the trust. You will get a 1.
Finally, former governor Phil Bryant helped Brett Favre secure welfare funding for USM's volleyball stadium. That's right. Text messages entered Monday into the state's ongoing civil lawsuit over the welfare scandal reveal that former Governor Phil Bryant pushed to make NFL legend Brett Favre's volleyball idea a reality. The text showed that the then governor even guided Favre on how to write a funding proposal so that it could be accepted by the Mississippi Department of Human Services, even after Bryant ousted the former welfare agency director, John Davis, for suspected fraud. Just left Brett Favre, Brian texted the nonprofit founder Nancy New in July of 2019, within weeks of Davis's departure. Can we help him with this project? We should meet soon to see how I can make sure we keep your projects on course. Yeah, when Favre asked Bryant how the new agency director might affect their plans to fund the volleyball stadium, Bryant assured him, "I'll handle that." Long story, but had to make a change. But I will call Nancy and see what it will take. Yo,
Y'all gotta learn how to write in code.
yo, you self snitching out here, my G.
Why don't you have burners? Every governor should get a burner.
Straight up.
What are we doing? Why am I reading this? What's happening?
Yo, and
come
like,
on.
Use initials at least, my G. Like,
I know. Had to make a change is the murkiest thing that you've said. And
Yo.
even that is like, well, you mean you fired the guy? Yeah, we saw when you fired the guy.
Yo, this opens up with a text saying just left Brett Favre. You ain't even
I know.
why you saying his whole name much. How many Bretts are coming up in the conversation? I know one Brett Favre. That's it. What is happening, yo? I'm like,
Oh
no, I
my
don't want you to get
God.
confused. I'm gonna fully commit to this. Yo, this is wild. The newly released text filed on Monday by the attorney representing Nancy New's nonprofit showed that Bryant, Favre, New, Davis, and others worked together to channel at least $5 million of the state's welfare funds to build a new volleyball stadium at the University of Southern Mississippi, where Favre's daughter played the sport. Favre received most of the credit for raising funds to construct the facility.
Okay, so he got credit for raising money
Mm-hmm.
when actually they took it from money that was supposed to go for the state's welfare.
Yep.
Didn't he show his dick to somebody?
Yeah. Well, he was with the Jets. Yeah. When he
Okay, I just for some reason
no, he's
when I see his name, I was like, haven't I seen his dick? Okay, I have. Yes, I remember.
yeah.
And I don't say that often. I have not seen as many. Well, oh wait, I was about to say I haven't seen many dicks, but then I forgot. Shalewa, you worked in a porn store for 6 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So I've actually seen quite a few, but oh wow,
yeah,
that's wild.
and like I don't know where he's at in terms of money, but he's got to be like 50 million minimum. I can't imagine he's worth less. He was the most important quarterback in Green Bay history up until maybe Aaron Rodgers. Definitely up until Rodgers, they're most successful. Played a long
Okay,
career.
right.
Still has an ongoing sponsorship with Wrangler, where like the jean company. So like he still brings it.
Really?
Yeah. He's like it still shows him like throwing a football. Like, yeah, I still got it.
Okay, I mean, good for Wrangler, I guess.
Yo, he out there. Like he
Wow.
making bread to this day. You know, so I didn't think he was like hard up on cash where he's like, yo, my daughter needs us to play volleyball.
Yeah, that's insane. Oh my gosh. Just I'm looking at texts like Brett Favre texting with the Nancy New woman. Brett's text. If you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from and how much? Nancy. No, we never have had that information publicized. I understand you being uneasy about that, though. Let's see what happens on Monday with the conversation with some of the folks at Southern. Maybe it will click with them. Brett. Okay, thanks. Next day, Nancy. Wow, just got off the phone with Phil Bryant. He's on board with us. We will get this done.
Say
Brett,
all
awesome. I needed to hear this for sure.
Who else is involved
So-
here? Say their whole name too. Say
Whole
everybody's whole name.
Fucking name.
Yo.
And I think it will surprise no one that Nancy New has taken a plea deal. This bitch is a canary. She's singing. She's singing all the notes.
These are only tweets I've seen where they like tagged people. Like
I know.
Yo.
How are you? Oh my gosh.
This is
Here's
crazy.
a picture of me now sending this text to you. Here's today's newspaper so you can verify the date.
Oh man, y'all are different, man. Like you have to, because this whole time, I would assume the only person who, well, I still think everyone knew this was wrong, but I actually think Brett might have been the only person that might not have known this was a crime. Like he might have been like, "Oh, this is how things work in politics,"
because they were telling him, "We can work this out."
But like like the other people are in politics, like they have to know this is wrong. And that's what, like,
because I mean, I don't think Brett went to him and was like, "Hey, can you take like 5-6 million out of your welfare to build this thing?" Like, I don't think that was his idea,
right?
But I think he was like, "Hey, can we come up with a way to come up with some money to pay for this thing?" My daughter, she loves the fucking volleyball, man. I don't know, it's not my thing, but this is what she likes. So, anywho, how can we do it? And then they were like, I mean, fuck them welfare folk. I guess we could just take it from there.
Yo, straight up. I really believe that they like set this up. They did the whole hustle, and they're like, yeah, we got to keep this dude happy. He's like, Mississippi royalty. You know what I mean?
Is
And
he Mississippi royalty?
I don't know any. What other celebrities are like born from Mississippi?
Is he from Mississippi?
Yeah, I think he's like born there.
Oh, there are others. They just don't talk about it.
Okay, fair.
I bet. You know what I mean? Like, because unfortunately, Mississippi has a bum rap, which is unfair. Absolutely.
Shouts to Mississippi, yo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that actually
I
as
mean,
homework. I'm gonna look up celebrities and famous people from Mississippi.
yeah, that's good. That's good because I don't know, but I mean, I've never been, but I'm sure it's lovely.
I'm really off. You're right. First person that comes up on the list, Oprah Winfrey.
There we go.
Elvis Presley, number 2.
Yeah, sure.
Brandy, Faith Hill, Leanne Rhymes.
Wait, when you say Brandy, you mean Brandy Norwood?
Yeah.
Is born in Mississippi?
I would assume she's on the Google.
She's on the Google list.
Yo, she's on the Google list. But Brett Favre is in the top like 10 people that Google showed me. He was like the 9th name. He's following Lance Bass.
Well, that probably hurts more than everything else that has happened.
Yeah, Brandy Norwood is born in McComb, Mississippi.
Okay, sure.
There you go.
Let's see. I just looked up a few. James Earl Jones is from Mississippi.
Okay.
Jim Henson, Sam Cooke, Britney Spears was born in Mississippi.
Yo, shouts to Mississippi. Y'all got some peoples, yo.
Yeah. I mean, I always think Louisiana when I think of Britney Spears, but that's just probably just where she grew up before all the Florida shit.
Okay, that's fair. But I will say though, looking at the list, he's the only athlete.
Okay,
so
sure,
like, he does have like a level of notoriety. And he did like the whole like obviously played high school there, but he also played college at Southern Miss. So he's a Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
Dude.
So he's right.
They just don't have a pro football team. So
gotcha.
But yeah, I really don't believe he, like, to your point, I think he just went up to them like, yo, how do we get this done? And they did all the shiesty shit,
Yeah.
So like I feel like his gut instinct as an adult, like, probably was like, yeah, I feel like we're doing something funny. But they knew the whole time they're committing a crime, and they still kept texting like this, which tells me that, like, oh, this is just one of many crimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because this was such a like low-level crime that they felt full comfort. Like, yeah, we definitely getting away with this shit.
Yeah, no one's going to catch this. We can use our full government names.
Straight up. Like, this crimes they have codes for. You know?
Which honestly makes sense when you consider that Jackson, Mississippi, I don't exactly know what their water situation is like now, but the whole city had no water.
Yeah.
And it's the majority Black city.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to not have water at the extent that they didn't have water meant a lot of neglect on many levels from government, where they purposefully were like, no, we're not giving them anything. We're not helping them with anything. So of course it tracks that they would be like, don't worry, Brett, we've got this. We'll just take money from these people who certainly really need it, but we've never cared about.
How many 40 packs of Costco's Kirkland brand of water do you think you could buy with $5 million? Okay.
Oh, I don't know. Is there a Lake Kirkland? Is there a Kirkland Lake? Can I buy that for $5 million?
Real talk. It goes on sale. It'd be like, I know at BJ's, the 48 pack, if you buy the BJ's brand, it's like $6. It's like super cheap. So yeah, to your point, they needed water, and instead they got a volleyball stadium.
Right. Well, that's no cool. Morgan Freeman, born in Mississippi.
Oh, rock on.
I'm still looking at this list. I'm fascinated now.
Yeah, shouts to Mississippi. Y'all doing big things out there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you would like, okay, to sponsor my son's baseball stadium, okay? All you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show. I'm upfront about it though. I ain't robbing nobody, okay? I got aspirations to turn every Dominican kid into a baseball elite athlete. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you about it. I want you to invest early, buy the jerseys.
Mhm.
Okay, if you are Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. Okay, 4 stars. You ain't seen my son swing. You don't believe in his future. Okay, yeah, he got a little eye problem, but he could do it. Okay, he swings hard. He
A
might not make
little.
eye contact. And his batting average is trash, but they're gonna be home runs when he hits. Okay,
He's got a little eye problem.
that's it. He got
I
glasses.
hope he does not hear this episode.
Yeah, that's it. He's a good kid. He got to wear glasses. I don't know if you can see the ball coming. 5 stars. You see the vision, and you're gonna let me funnel out roughly $400 to $500 so I could buy him goggles that he could wear during the game.
Oh.
Horace Grant style.
Okay, that's very feasible.
Yeah, again, upfront about it.
I think your 5 stars could definitely help with that.
That's it, baby. We're gonna make it happen. Okay. If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shouts this week to Brandy Spain and Lori McDaniel. Appreciate y'all for sharing articles. And also just to everybody in general sending in articles. Like, it's dope that I get the pick. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's a big help.
Sincerely, Shalewa has never been happier with the lack of all hip hop articles that I've been linking now.
Well, I mean, 1 or 2, but that's okay. We're getting some interesting.
Yeah, we getting variety,
some interesting things.
And more importantly, we don't get the 30,000 pop-ups that come when you open up that many all hip hop articles at once.
Yes, that's for sure.
Our Google Chrome has never been happier. Okay. With all that said, I am the clean Internet Explorer having Gastor Almonte. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Always with the soon to be baseball manager at my son's new stadium, Shalewa Sharpe.
I mean, like in title only.
That's all you need.
I will have an assistant that will handle all of the work, but I'll definitely be there to cut a ribbon with a big pair of scissors or whatever it is that I have to do. I can do that. Isn't that how you start every game, with a ribbon and then over home plate, and then someone comes out with oversized scissors? And maybe I haven't been to a lot of games lately.
Hey, baseball in Atlanta is different. Okay.
It is. It really is.
This has been a War Report. Catch y'all next time. Peace.